Streaming from Oklahoma's own digital studio, this is Jeremie Poplin with Thunder Breakdown.
That's right, but I'm not the only member of the crew that's here. Steve McGehee, as normal, is joining us live from inside the arena there in Indianapolis as we get set for what could be one of the biggest moments in the history of the state of Oklahoma when it comes to sports tonight with the Thunder, with a chance to win an NBA championship. Steve, first of all, did you guys survive the little mini weather? I noticed that you didn't get caught in the weather yesterday. Chris Williams, who's up there with you, did. So are you all good?
We're good, but 2 days ago, we were delayed in Oklahoma City because there was weather going through Denver. So we were delayed. So we get to Denver, and then Denver to Indianapolis, we flew right through the storm. So hang on, we were bumping our way to Indiana, but everything was okay. I guess Chris brought the thunderstorm. Chris Williams got stuck in it yesterday without an umbrella, but all is good. Decent weather today, better weather tomorrow perhaps, but this is a big night. June 19th, 2025 could be a memorable date for Oklahoma sports history.
It could indeed. One little last comment. Chris's hair just looked deflated when he was coming down from the amount of rain that he had. So I did get I felt bad for him, but I did get a little chuckle over that. So what has the city of Indianapolis been like over the last couple of days? Can you kind of feel the tension a little bit?
Oh, for Indiana fans, definitely tension. From what I can see coming into the arena, into the field house, there's a lot of Thunder fans here.
Oh.
A lot of Thunder fans. I'm going to guess at least 500, which is a lot. But you see them out in the streets, and obviously the ticket prices went down a little bit. But
yeah.
Thunder, Indiana Pacers fans with Tyrese not being 100%, he's probably going to give it a go, but he's not going to be the Tyrese that we saw in Game 1, I don't think, unless it's a miracle. They want him to play like he did in Game 1, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I think you'll be surprised with the Thunder fans you see in the stands. And they'll stand out because they're wearing blue and orange, and everybody else is wearing those gold T-shirts for Indiana.
You talked about the ticket prices falling. I saw by as much as $300, $400 in some places with the ticket prices going. So a good opportunity. And hey, listen, if you're a Thunder fan, you feel like that you're going to be there to watch history happen in person, and you're diehard enough to make that drive up to Indiana or catch a quick flight, why not? You just never know when you'll get another opportunity like this to witness it.
Yeah, we've been down this road before on this conversation, but back in 12 when they lost the Heat, Jeremy, we all assumed the Thunder were going to be back in here at least 2 or 3 more times. Due to injuries, they never got here. So that's why it's important to, you have Game 7 Sunday if you need it, but hopefully they don't need it. They know, don't let this thing linger. Don't give Indiana hope. Get it done tonight. And I think they have to have obviously a strong start, but just a strong first half overall to say that, hey, we mean business, and maybe there'll be some doubt. I think there's some doubt in Pacers right now, with the Tyrese situation, but they're going to play lights out, and they're going to be competitive, and they're going to leave it all on the line. Pascal Siakam, he's going to get his points. You just don't let Benedict Mathurin and T.J. McConnell, light up the Thunder like they've done in the past. That McConnell third quarter the other night was impressive, and Mathurin had that, a 27-point game there in game number 3 here. So Oklahoma City, they are this close. They don't want to talk about it. Hopefully they're talking about it in about 4 hours.
You're right. They don't want to talk about it, which leads me to this, and I love this mentality from Shea.
It's been fun. Now, the cusp of winning is not winning, and the way I see it, winning is all that matters. So it hasn't been fulfilling. We haven't done anything the way I see it, but I've built great friendships along the way. I've had a lot of fun playing basketball, and I think that's where you start. And the organization and the guys around me have done a really good job of building an environment that's fun to come to every day, and really just focus on work and getting better, and I think that's why we made jumps.
How about that? The cusp of winning is not winning. Absolutely love it, and Mark has preached that the entire way through. They don't just speak it, Steve. They live it.
Yeah, they definitely kind of image what Mark Daigneault is as a head coach. Don't get too high, don't get too low. It's just Shea is just he's excellent in those press conferences because he knows what to say. He knows what not to say. I just found out the news here that Halliburton, according to ESPN, will play in Game 6. So I don't think there's too much of a shocker there, but he will play. I don't know for how long and how effective he will be, but that gives them some hope. And that was a question I asked some of the Pacers players yesterday, was the fact that, if he's out there trying and playing hurt, doesn't that inspire you guys a little bit? And he goes, yeah, it certainly does. It gives us an emotional lift, obviously with his home ground as well. But Oklahoma City, they're the favorites. Favorites for a reason. Shea and J-Dub, they may be that 1-2 tandem. They're on fire right now, and it may be too much for Indiana to handle.
I want to get to J-Dub in a second, but you heard the breaking news here. According to ESPN, Halliburton is going to play. As you said, really no surprise whatsoever. We thought that he would give it a go. There was a moment in the fourth quarter where clearly he is hampered by this, and he's not the same. But there were a couple of moments, Steve, where it looked like he passed up some open looks, I felt. And I don't know whether that had to do with some of the explosion that was in, the lower extremities that were there or not, but he was incredibly passive even with the injury to me.
I'm sure he noticed that in the game tape. I'm not sure why he would do that, because you want him shooting the ball, especially if you're wide open. So maybe he just didn't feel right, perhaps. I would imagine that was the case. But I expect him to, he's going to put out a valiant effort. He's not 100%. And so the Thunder defense is not going to quit on him. They're going to just make it even worse for him with Dort, Dub, Kaysen, Caruso, Kenneth Williams, Wiggins. It goes on and on. They're going to be on him all night long. That's why somebody like Siakam will have to have at least a 40-point night to have a chance.
You brought up J-Dub. We've seen it here in this state. I don't know if I want to phrase it as a coming out party. Maybe in the finals with this duo, you could phrase it that way. But, I mean, he's too good for this to just be now his coming out party. But I will say this. They've still got to find a way to continue to maximize J-Dub in Game 6. Keep moving him off the ball in transition. All the secondary pick and rolls that they did gives Indiana someone else to key on other than SGA. But, man, if he plays like this again, the likelihood of them raising a trophy is really high this evening.
Yeah, he had knocked down a couple of shots, and that gave him some confidence, but he was aggressive to the basket. I think their best offense sometimes is just go right to the basket, try to get an old-fashioned three-point play. But when those two are on together at the same time, I'm not sure Indiana has an answer. They haven't had an answer for it yet over the last couple of games. But Dub, I'm really happy for him because he's a very humble basketball player, very much like Shea. He's not garnering the spotlight, but the spotlight found him in game number 5, and I'm sure that helped him out financially with endorsements probably on the way this offseason. A very likable guy. He made the All-Star game, and it wasn't a fluke. And so to do that on NBA's biggest stage, that is great timing for Jaylen. But he could care about all what comes with it. He just wants to help the Thunder win a basketball game. And maybe if he just has 2 points tonight and they win, he's fine with that. He's not selfish. He just wants to win, and that's a mirror image also of Shea that leads to Mark Daigneault. Mark has got these guys playing the right way, talking the right way, believing the right way. It's not over yet, but they're going to do everything they can to make sure there's not a Game 7 in Oklahoma City. If there is, that's when you start to get a little nervous. You don't want, crazy things can happen in the final game of a series. The ball bounces the wrong way or somebody, tweaks an ankle. So, get the job done tonight. I can't reiterate that enough. Finish them off tonight.
Before I get a couple of keys from you, one last point I want to bring up. I've seen this written a couple of times now heading into this game. We cannot move forward any longer without being able to highlight what Chet's importance to this series has been. I mean, it may not always show in the box score at the end of the game. Typically it does, but even when it doesn't, Steve, his impact is felt throughout.
Yeah, even when the shots may not be falling like they have in the last couple of games, but he's going to knock some down tonight. But his impact, though, he's so long. His wingspan, I don't know what it is, probably 20 feet. It just seems like he can block shots from long, he just reaches out and blocks shots. So he's a great rim protector along with Isaiah Hartenstein. But if he has a game tonight where it's 20 points and 10 rebounds and 5 blocks, it's game over because he's very capable of being like that. And he wants some of that spotlight too. He enjoys the spotlight as well, but as long as they win. But I wouldn't be surprised if Chet has one of those games where it's 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 blocks. If he does, I'm rooting for him to do it. If he does, it's another reason why Indiana will lose this game tonight.
Okay, give me a couple of keys tonight from your perspective for OKC to win.
Well, I'll take another 71 points combined between Shea and Dub. Is that possible? I mean, guaranteed Shea's going to get at least 30 points. That's a guaranteed right there. If Dub can get close to that, that'd be great. But another key is Chet. Get Chet going on offense. I think he's going to knock down a few threes tonight at the right time. Just play smart, and I'm sure Indiana will get like an 8 or 10 point lead, perhaps. Don't get rattled and just keep fighting back. But one expert out there that I was talking to yesterday, and I kind of believe him, he goes, I think it's going to be a game for about a quarter and a half, and then the Thunder are going to take over. So I'm like, I hope you're right. So I kind of leaning that way. I think it's going to be a close game for a quarter and a half, and then the Thunder are going to pull away.
Okay, before I get you out of here, the players won't do this, Mark won't do it, but we can because we're media members. Have you allowed yourself a moment to think about how crazy that the reception back home will be and what it would be like for them to walk out of there with the Larry O'Brien trophy? I mean, I'm just thinking I'm already flash forwarding, Steve, to what the crowd looks like downtown when they have their celebration, because it's going to be insane. Have you had little images of that pop in your head?
Well, whenever the parade is, no one's going to be at work that day. Everyone's going to call in sick.
Yeah.
It should be like an off school day. I'm like, we are not open for business today. We have shut down the factory. Everybody go celebrate this Thunder victory. So that's what I envision. But, 10 years ago, I made the joke. I'm like, I won't be satisfied with this job until I'm with the Thunder in a victory parade, and we are this close to having that happen. But that's when we had Durant and Westbrook, and then we hit the reset button. I'm like, well, I'm going to have to wait a while. But the wait really hasn't been that long, though. Then we had 2 bad seasons, and they almost made the playoffs 2 years ago when Dub was a rookie and Chet was hurt. But, it's going to be fun. This town has been waiting for a Thunder championship. They deserve one. They're talented. And the great thing is, they're going to be just as good next season. But let's talk about this season first. Let's enjoy the moment. Hopefully they come back to Oklahoma with the trophy. If not, tear them up in Game 7.
There's no doubt. Steve, appreciate you joining us from inside the arena there. Got a lot of work to get to tonight. We'll see you not only on television, but we'll do one of these again soon, I'm sure. Look at that. Look at that view from way up there. My goodness, do you have a telescope with you to be able to make sure to make out people that are on the floor tonight?
This is not my seat. I'm a little bit down low on the other side.
Oh.
So, some people are up. This was my seat for All-Star last year in Indianapolis, and I was here for about 1.5, and I watched the rest of the game in the second half because it's a long ways down there.
No doubt.
You're not really in the game. But, hey, you can't complain. To be inside this building, for all these Thunder fans, I hope they enjoy it. Enjoy this moment, and hopefully Thunder comes back to Oklahoma with that trophy and a lot of big smiles.
Steve, appreciate you. Thank you so much, my man. Reminding everyone that's watching, you can go on news9.com, news6.com, check out all of our Thunder playoff finals hubs that we have that are there for you. Steve gives you another look of the court here as we get ready to say goodnight. Don't forget, we'll be back here live on X and on YouTube, Channel 9's YouTube page, with about 5 minutes left in the second quarter and run all the way through halftime, then come back for a post-game show live here as well. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you as we get set for game number 6 of the NBA Finals. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for watching this Oklahoma Zone digital studio stream. Stay with News 9, online and on television, anytime for the latest news, weather, and sports.